Hi everybody, in this series of videos I'm going to be making this beautiful sculpted keepsake box. I've got a piece of zebra wood right here, and I've never actually worked with this species, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think it's a really nice, it's a nicely figured species. The problem is this particular board has a huge amount of twist in it. So the project I'm working on, it calls for a 45-inch long continuous board. So I'm going to try to strategically cut this down to 45 inches and hopefully get rid of some of that twist before I even start the milling process. Otherwise, we would be left with a very thin board. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take my 45 inches. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mark it. Go ahead and mark it here. There, and 45 inches. That's still kind of a rough cut. It should give me plenty to work with. So I've got it marked where I think some of that twist will be taken out, and we'll start from there, and we'll see how that goes. Since I've cut this board down to size and I've got some of the twist out of it, I'm going to go ahead and rib cut it on the bandsaw just to try to get a little bit more twist out of it. The plans for this box actually call for a 3.5-inch wide board, and this board here is about 7 inches. I'm going to go ahead and cut it down to like 4 1/4, and I'm also doing that strategically to try to get, like I said, try to get more of that twist out of it. Now I've installed a 1/2-inch blade on my bandsaw, and I think that will do the trick. So. We've got this ripped down to about 4 1/4. There is still quite a bit of twist to it. The only thing that I can do at this point is take it over to the joiner and the planer and try to mill this down until it's nice and flat. Hopefully at that point we'll still have enough material to make our box. Now that my workpiece is nice and flat, I've only left myself with 1/2 inch of material. I was hoping to have closer to 3/4 of an inch at this point, but you know, what do you do? I'll just have to do the best I can with it. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to cut a groove towards the bottom of this, which will accept a bottom, because basically I'm going to cut my 4 sides for my box out of this one piece, and there's going to be a groove in the bottom that will accept the bottom for the box. And I've installed a flat tooth rip blade on my table saw, and I've got it the height on it maybe 1/4 inch, because I'm just gonna, I'm gonna do about halfway through this board, and The one issue that I have right here is the material I'm going to use for the box bottom is actually slightly thicker than 1/4 of an inch, and therefore my saw blade is not going to, the groove's not going to be wide enough. Therefore I'm going to have to make a pass, and then I'm going to have to slightly tweak my fence to make that groove thick enough to, or wide enough to accept the bottom, which is why I'm also going to make this cut using a scrap piece. That way once I make the adjustment on my fence, I can do it to the scrap board first, make sure it fits before ruining you know, this high dollar piece of zebra wood. Here we go. Okay, I'm ready to cut all my sides. I've got my miter saw set to a 45-degree miter, and I'm going to use it in conjunction with this jig I built that's specifically for making these boxes. I don't remember where I saw this jig. It's not an original idea. I think I saw it on a YouTube video or something. Here we go. Now we're almost ready for glue up. I have clamped a straight edge onto my bench, and that's going to help me keep all of these in line with each other. I've arranged these pieces to where they're arranged the way the board normally was. That way you actually get a continuous grain around the box. You got to make sure that your groove is in the right place. Then we're just going to butt these together. Use the straight edge. And then my favorite method for doing this, it's a tried and true method. I've seen a lot of different people do this. You just tape those joints. You do want them butted up together really tight. And you're going to tape them together. I like to cover the entire joint with masking tape. So let's get this storage out of the way now. So that's going to keep our corners together nice and tight. And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go and I'm going to cut a bottom for this out of hardboard, and then we will be ready to glue these corners together. And once it's glued, we'll just have to add a piece of tape here, and we will be done with that step. Okay, I've got my bottom cut, and I am ready to glue this up. I've already tested the fit, and it fits great. I'm going to go ahead and start out by putting a little bit of tape on one edge, like so. Okay. Glue brush. I'm going to add some glue to each miter. Brush that in, make sure I've got plenty of glue. I'm not going to be super careful about getting the glue on the inside of the box, because I do plan on using a flock to cover the inside, so even if there's a little bit of squeeze out, it's going to get covered up anyways. So I'm not particularly concerned about that. I mean, I will wipe it away, but that's about it. And I'm going to add some miter splines to the corners of this box, which will make the corners a lot stronger. I'm going to do that in the next video. Drop this into place. Not really any need to glue the bottom in place. Reinforce this a little bit with tape. There we go. And I'm going to grab a rag. I'm going to go ahead and wipe out the squeeze out that's on the inside. Like I said, I am going to come back and flock the inside of this, so this isn't going to be super important. I just don't want a bunch of build up on it. concludes part 1 of my Sculpted Keepsake box series. I hope you're enjoying the ride. Please subscribe to my channel for future content, and we'll see you next time.